Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today, this show is your show from the Wichita Mountains to the Red River. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
We've made another list, though.
We have made another list, which we'll get
talk
to.
We'll talk about it.
We will.
I've also made a list.
Does it involve you eating a full Ronnie Boggle?
No, that's
Bogle?
part of the rehab. That's me rehabbing myself back to the glory days.
Okay, so I'm just going to say we're back in the saddle, and we decided our very first stop was going to be Brandis for breakfast in Chickasha, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And you ate probably 20,000 calories.
Easy. Like, I probably won't need to eat until, what's today? Monday?
Yeah.
Until Wednesday?
I'm thinking till February sometime.
Yeah, that was a gravy overdose. But I really feel like we need to address the speckled, spotted, infected elephant in the room.
Fire away.
I thought you said viral away. I have been sicker than an absolute dog for almost a month.
It's not been a month.
It feels like it.
Yeah,
okay.
It
what's
was after
today?
Christmas. It's the 20th. It was
So,
after Christmas.
January 2nd is when the fallout.
Yeah, I'm going to say we both...
Between you and I.
You have some mystery virus.
Yes.
That is unidentifiable to all of modern science.
Yes. And
I sneezed and threw my back out for 3 weeks.
Dude, we're literally on the same period. It's only taken us, damn near 20 years to get our periods to sync up together.
True.
I think we're finally here.
Yeah.
Really, it couldn't be the best time or the worst time for us both to not be able to record, because if you were healthy and I wasn't, you'd be having to do it on your own, and
right.
Vice versa, or I'd have to figure it out. But what's funny about the whole thing, even amidst the bubonic plague and the back spasm palooza,
yeah,
we're still performing pretty well for a couple of guys that are on reruns right now.
Dude, our social media has, if anything, it's sped up.
And we survived 12 hours
of TikTok outage
of being ticked. Somebody made a conspiracy theory that I almost buy. What if they knew all along TikTok was on borrowed time? Hence the name TikTok.
Ah, that's awesome. I like it.
That's a conspiracy theory I'll buy. Magic Bullet, I'm still struggling with it. You know what I mean?
I'm still going with Hollow Moon.
The plausibility of TikTok was on borrowed time to begin with, I'm more apt to buy that. I am trying to figure out, though, why I still can't have access to CapCut and other people can. I'm pressed about that a little bit. But we're back-ish.
I think we're back.
No pun intended with your back.
Ugh.
I have a feeling that someday you're just going to be like Professor Xavier. You're just going to be in a hover chair.
I hope not.
Yeah. My voice is my strongest asset. It really is.
I don't disagree with that. I am going to say that you're in good company with today's show topic.
Good voices?
Woody Guthrie.
Yeah. What an American icon.
Most people know him as the guy who wrote This Land Is Your Land.
Mm-hmm.
But he also wrote more than 3,000 songs.
That's a lot of music.
And he was also a highly skilled visual artist.
Yeah.
So the guy had a ridiculously productive lifetime. But really, he made his kind of debut, or he hit the scene during the Dust Bowl.
Yeah.
So Woody was in Pampa, Texas when the worst of the Dust Bowl storms hit the Panhandle, causing a lot of people to think that the world was ending.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of where he started off his career, so to speak. He was born, though, in Okemah, Oklahoma in 1912. And cool factoid, he was actually named after President Woodrow Wilson.
He was born in 1912. He doesn't seem like he would have been that old.
1912.
But it's easy. Here's the thing, too. if you're from this neck of the woods, whether you're a fan or not, it's easy to get Woody Guthrie and Arlo Guthrie
True.
confused.
It is.
That was part of that. I was like, wait a second. Oh, no. Okay, now it makes sense.
So he spent a lot of his early years speaking up for the Dust Bowl migrants, bringing attention to their plight as, they had to cross the country or get out of the Dust Bowl zone.
Yeah.
And he really hit the scene big with his show, The Woody and Lefty Lou Show. But there's a lot of really awesome information about Woody Guthrie at the Woody Guthrie Center in Tulsa.
Yeah.
One of the cool things, he named his first son after Will Rogers.
Really? Yeah. It's funny. I can relate to that. I named my middle child after Johnny Carson, but something tells me history will not repeat that anywhere down the road.
But at the Woody Guthrie Center, you can learn about his background, his travels, his civil rights work, and his music. His archive of work is housed at the Woody Guthrie Center and consists of more than 100 notebooks, correspondence to famous people famous people that you would recognize their names, from politicians to artists to producers. There are a ton of other documents that they show kind of his mission to speak up for the disenfranchised, so to speak.
Yeah, he was really kind of a trailblazer in that area of work.
He was, as much as he was a singer-songwriter, he was an activist or
a philanthropist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of mud in the water, people saying that he was a communist or socialist or whatever. But he really just cared about regular people and their plight.
There is a really cool, I think it's still there, I don't know, it's been a while. There's a really cool mural painting of him kind of in the art district of Tulsa that's really cool. You know what I mean?
He had a huge impact. The work, though, that they have at the center there, they have a lot of the handwritten lyrics where he actually was working out the song
really
on paper.
That's cool.
Including the song This Land Is Your Land, written down. You could see when he wrote it to record it.
Yeah, that's super cool. Even if you're not into folk music, or it just from a historical standpoint, what an imprint, what a lasting impression Woody Guthrie made, not only on Oklahoma, but on everywhere he went.
I love the fact that Tulsa
adopted
him and put in the Woody Guthrie Center.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's where the...
It is.
Okay.
Where the mural is.
Yeah, that's right.
It's right there by the center of the universe,
right
obviously, where Woody Guthrie belongs. The center houses an amazing collection of artifacts, memorabilia, recorded performances. They do a lot of special events and activities designed to engage and educate the public about Guthrie's life. It is a great place to check out. If you're in the Tulsa area, check them out. If you want more information, go to woodyguthrieCenter.org.
Well, after the break, we're going to celebrate Oklahoma.
Our partner for today's show is Enid SOS, or Enid Street Outreach Services.
What I will say, people can say what they want about TikTok. I met Enid Street Outreach Services through TikTok. They're our new friends now.
They are. They are a local nonprofit providing services for low-income, hungry, or unsheltered people in and around Enid, Oklahoma.
I will say this. I don't know what the statistics are, but the homeless situation in Oklahoma is huge. There are very few outreach programs that make the impact that Enid Street Outreach does.
I love the name Enid SOS, by the way.
Oh, I do too.
I think it's a great name.
Yeah.
But their program works with outreach, food, clothing, shelter, medical needs, and advocacy. Just some of the things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
They distribute nutritious meals to those who are struggling to find adequate food.
Right.
Including children, elderly people. They connect individuals to medical services to address their health concerns. They provide shelter options for those experiencing homelessness.
You know, when you think about mental health, you think about homelessness, those are underfunded areas that are often overlooked by local and state government. Enid SOS, quite literally, is a program that's funded by volunteers, donors, and supporters just like you out there.
Yeah, and whether you have time that you can donate, or essential items that you can donate, or if you can make some sort of financial contribution, everything that you give makes a huge difference. You can find out more about them and how you can help at enidsos.org. So we made another list, Brett.
We're getting there.
Afar magazine, AFAR, has listed Oklahoma City
Yeah.
as one of the top 25 places on the whole planet to visit in 2025.
So it's not top 25 places to be fat in, top 25 places to be old in. Like it's
Literally top 25 to visit this year.
That's awesome.
They talk about the film industry and the dining scene exploding in the Oklahoma City area. They talk about how much of a change Oklahoma City has seen over the past couple of decades, and how it far surpasses what people think Oklahoma City is all about.
You think about how far Oklahoma City has come in the last 25 years?
Yeah.
There's a time, there's probably a point where we didn't care about it until we became adults and we really started listening to it, what was going on when we started doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you go back, could you have ever imagined that Oklahoma City would be on a list
for international travel?
Right.
You're talking Rome, Reykjavik, Tokyo.
Yeah.
All of those places were options when they were putting together this list. Oklahoma City made the top 25.
Right. That's
Dude,
big.
it is really big.
That's
And
big.
a lot of it can be attributed to things like the Oscar qualifying Dead Center Film Festival coming up soon, the recent film shoots in the Sooner State,
Oh, yeah.
including Twisters,
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon. It's been a huge boon to the local economy, but it has also really transformed Oklahoma to a pretty huge extent.
I remember a time where I would always get kind of excited. I've never hated Oklahoma. You meet people who are like, I hate this place. You've lived there your whole life. You hate it. I've never hated where I lived. I wanted to get out of my neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I never hated where I lived. But I always thought it was cool as a kid when you'd hear just a passing comment on national news about Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, there was a time where, Oklahoma City was popular in the mid-'90s because of the bombing.
True.
So, hearing positive gleans about Oklahoma City were very few and far between. Now, like, this is a prime example, but Oklahoma as a whole is in a lot bigger conversation now than it has ever been.
It really has. It really is. And it's kind of mind-boggling the degree of international attention that Oklahoma gets now.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that long ago where if you went to a foreign country and told people you were from Oklahoma, they wouldn't know what you were talking about until you said it's by Texas.
I mean, example, I went to Veneta, went to the Highway Cafe. They've got a sign-in book there. New York, California, Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Route 66, sadly, Route 66 is more popular outside of the state of Oklahoma, I think.
I agree.
But the fact that it brings international travelers to a small dot. Veneta's not huge. It's a cute little town. I love Veneta. But it's not huge. The fact that it takes people to places like Clinton, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Where they really start kind of celebrating the Mother Road. But it's just it's so cool to hear your town or your state be mentioned in, I'm sure there's some top 25 lists we're in that probably aren't as favorable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're on the homicide list somewhere, probably.
I don't know.
But we always talk about Medicine Park. Would you 10 years ago thought Medicine Park would be a national?
No, we've talked about where our visit to Medicine Park 10 years ago. And
I mean, I use that as an example because it's one of the best ones to describe how far Oklahoma as a whole has come in the last decade. And to see, Oklahoma City, to be honest, to hear Oklahoma City be in the top 25, not a huge surprise. It's cool to hear.
Right.
But the reality of it is, every The third day, they're mentioning some new development. We're expanding here. You've got world-class entertainment within a stone's throw of each other. You've got Okana going in a part of town that you would have never dreamt in a million years would be anything. They finally got the First Americans Museum that was literally a haunted house for 20 years. We're starting to finally...
I am going to say, and maybe it didn't have anything to do with this, but I am going to say that the entire tourism industry for Oklahoma took a turn right around, I'm going to say, October of 2019, which coincidentally is when the OnlyinOKShow started.
Yeah.
I'm not taking all the credit.
Listen.
But I think we get a little bit.
Listen, we are one of very few media outlets that has been planting seeds for 10 years. We have been doing a whisper campaign.
We have.
At full volume for a decade about Oklahoma.
Yes.
In something that I can, and this kind of almost leads us into like feedback, but something that I've been able to do through quantitative data, I can see the impact that we're making in real time on apps like TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube.
Yeah.
The connections that I've made with Broken Bow Travel Sisters in Hochatown and what they're doing, and we're all in a community. Some of us are doing podcasts, some of us are doing TikToks, some of us are doing door to door. We're all in a community together to promote a singular mission. There were people doing day one videos for the day one hikes. There were a lot of people out there, doing the thing.
Absolutely, and we've been talking about that for 4 or 5 years now.
Absolutely, like I really can't say enough about the community that we've been a part of, the community we've built, the communities that we're in.
Right.
You know what? I'm not gonna kind of pat ourselves on the back. We've been doing the work.
We have,
and
it's making a huge difference. I'm not taking all of the credit, but I do honestly believe that we have had a huge impact. And you can just tell from the number of notes that we've gotten over the years of people saying, I'm coming to Oklahoma to do this thing, to eat at this place because of something Yes. So it makes a difference. I'm pumped at the recognition that Oklahoma's getting. I'm going to include a link in the show notes to the magazine article.
Yeah.
Check it out if you're interested. But again, congratulations, Oklahoma, and thanks to everybody listening to this show and spreading the word about travel and tourism in the state of Oklahoma.
And again, I guess we kind of almost could just ride that wave into the feedback segment.
Absolutely. We have some feedback on YouTube that I thought was interesting. It's kind of counter to our message.
Okay.
John Allen Walker on YouTube, in reference to our discussion about Bob's Pig Shop in Paul's Valley, he says, I don't want it on Yelp. I don't want any damn Yankees or Califlakies or others there. They have excellent old-fashioned pit barbecue in Paul's Valley, Oklahoma.
Yes.
So again, it's counter to our narrative. You know, we like things the way they are to a degree. But you gotta
open up a little.
You gotta have those travelers coming through to keep the lights on.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, I'm all for having a local haunt where I have my, because we walked into a few of those restaurants and went, did we just steal someone's seat? Because you can just tell that's where Jerry sits, that's where Bobby Jack sits.
Yeah.
And here comes these two stragglers, You don't know if we're from the East Coast or or from Palestine if you look at you.
Wow.
No, nothing personal. There's a wall. You couldn't get there anyway. But I think in order for I think that if you're a small business in a small town in small middle America, as much as you love serving your community, it's got to put some wind in your sails when somebody from New York City comes in and says, I heard about you.
Here's my perspective. The goal is to serve your community.
Yeah.
But the way that you get to retire 5 years earlier is to be good enough that people come from outside of your community to fill the coffers.
Yeah.
So yes, serve your community and do it well. And people from the neighboring towns will start coming, or the people from the neighboring states will start coming, or people from the neighboring countries will start coming to try your thing. And Oklahoma has learned that a lot over the last last few years. And we're seeing evidence, like I said, with all of the stories around the world about how awesome Oklahoma is.
And there's still a lot to learn, and we've still got a long ways to go.
We do.
We're promoting all the right things. I think we can all agree, whether you want them to come from California or you don't, we're here.
Well, and,
we're
just
thriving, dude.
Absolutely. And I think just because somebody comes from California doesn't mean that, we don't want them to buy a burger on their way through.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they might not be a great Oklahoman at some point in time, but I get the point. I get the, we are Oklahoma and we need to remain Oklahoma. I think part of it is just showing people what that is.
Yeah.
And we work hard at doing that here on the show. Yeah. We do it every week, except when we both experience.
So I want to give a shout out real quick to a kid. I say a kid. He's old enough to be our kid. He's like 23 years old. His name is Chase. I work with him at Lowe's. He has literally, from the time I told him, I'm reluctant sometimes to tell young people what I do. Because I feel like it's not for you. You're not going to like it. You might, So I try to keep, and I'm underselling us, maybe. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, just tell me what it is. It's like, I have a commute. He drives from Wellston to Mustang to go to work.
Got it?
So he literally texted me one day and goes, it doesn't matter if it has a bone in it or not. It's still considered a wing. And I went, what? He goes, yeah, I just finished your Max Wings episode. I was like, a wing qualifies as a wing because it has a bone in it. It's just a piece of meat without a wing in it. So we went back and forth. But at first he texted me, he goes, or somebody said to me, I get there and he go, Chase says he's got a bone to pick with you. I was like, wait a second. And then I realized it was a bone about the bone-in wing. Is it a wing? Is it not a wing? Right. It's not a wing. Okay? A bone-in wing is not a wing. But anyway, he's like, dude, I'm almost all the way through with your catalog. I need more. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, I really like it. You guys are funny. I'm like, you're 23 years old. How am I cool still?
That's funny.
I mean, so we're reaching a broader audience than I thought we would. I don't know. I enjoy it. There are days where I thought I would call and break up with you over a text. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We've
been through the shadow realm.
We've had our ups and downs over the years. I think the fact that people are listening and people are reaching out to us, it makes all the difference, and it makes us want to keep doing what we're doing. So if you like what we're doing, tell a friend.
Tell a friend, please.
If you try one of the places that we recommend, because we recommend it,
tell them.
Tell them. Write it in the book. Whatever.
Tell your mom. I can't say enough. Tell your mom about us.
You and people's moms. It's weird.
Moms love me.
Well, this has been the Only in OK Show. I'm Harley.
And I'm Eddie Haskell.
And we're out of here.
Peace. And welcome to... Oh, God. That was bad. Huh?
Yeah.
And welcome to the show. I mean, I could do it. And welcome to the show. Today...
Are we doing NPR?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could do the NPR. And welcome to the show. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather. I can't do it. I can do it. We can do it. We're going to be fine. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
And you count them down.
3, 2, 1.
And what?
3, 2, 1.
All right. Own it. Own what I have.
Right.
I got it.